Okay, so we've got another Clionadh video. I acquired some more shades from the stained glass collection for science. A lot of you are kind enough to use my affiliated code when you purchase from Clionadh. So whenever they have a sale, I go and pick up some more shades so I can create content with them to serve as a resource, and hopefully it can be helpful. So this time I went on the website and I sorted from most to least popular, and I bought all of the least popular shades that I didn't already have. And in general, they're just shades that I never see anyone talking about. So I figured I could take a calculated risk and see if there's any hidden gems in there, if people aren't talking about them for a reason, and we'll just see what we find out. So also I do want to mention Clionadh is having a sale starting on December 30th, and they are releasing 11 new shades from their holiday mystery bundles. So I already have the 2 stocking stuffer shades, so I'm probably going to pick up the 9 that I don't have, and then I can do a video on that as well with eye swatches and comparison, you know the deal. I also did get 2 of their circle shades because I've never tried them before and I just wanted to see what they're all about. I know they're planning to expand those in 2024, so I wanted to see if it's something I'm even interested in exploring more of. But anyway, let's start with the stained glass shades I picked up. So first I picked up Viridian. This is a deep iridescent multichrome. It's described as a taupe base with green, blue, indigo, red shift. It's one of the most affordable shades in general from Clionadh. I think it was like $7 or $8. So this one I don't really see much of a shift. I see a subtle shift from green to blue, but I don't really see indigo or red. Let me know if you see it in the footage. Shade of green that you see from straight on is really nice. It's almost like a glow from within type of green. I do like the finish of it. Very finely milled, small particle size. I feel like this would be good for someone who is interested in green multichromes like Vert or Wall of Ivy. You'll see a bunch in the comparisons later in this video. If you don't really care about having the shifts, but you just want that like green tone from straight on and you don't want to spend a lot of money, this could be something worth checking out. It is really pretty from straight on, but if you're looking for a shifty shade, I would skip on this. I'm going to speculate as to why I think these aren't talked about too. I think this one probably isn't talked about because it's not too much of a shift. There's something really to set this apart from the others. Okay, next is Auric, another deep iridescent multichrome. This one is described as a yellow tan base with orange, peach, yellow shifts. And yeah, this has a similar texture and finish to Viridian, very small particle size, finely milled, shiny, but more of a smooth finish. And from straight on, I see a peachy orange shift, and then it goes into more of a true orange and then gold. This is another one that has that kind of like glow from within quality to it. It's pretty, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily one of the standouts from the shades I picked up. And I think this one is probably one of the lower selling shades because there are a few of these kind of gray based or taupe based multichromes that Clionadh came out with in the stained glass expansion, and I think they're kind of hard to tell apart. So there's like royal peach, there's Auric, there's saffron, and there's like probably 1 or 2 more that I can't think of off the top of my head, and they are kind of hard to distinguish from each other based on pictures. So I think maybe just the other ones got a little bit more hype, or I don't know. But anyway, I do have saffron, so I compare it later in this video. Eventually I'll pick up royal peach. Next I picked up Court Jester. This is a glitter vibrant multichrome. This one I'm declaring to be a hidden gem, one of my top recommendations out of the 8 I picked up. This is described as an orange base with icy pink, peach, chartreuse shifts. So this has a larger particle size. It's pretty flaky, but this is so complex and unique. So I would categorize it as a coral, but it just has so much going on. It has so many different colored flecks of sparkle. Mostly I see green, hot pink, and a little bit of silver and purple. And then it has a pink flash from straight on, and it goes to orange, gold, green. Really beautiful. I wore this as a one shadow look and I loved how it looked. It's just so dimensional and, like I said, complex and sparkly. Has a larger particle size and it is a flaky shade, but it does smooth out to a sparkly finish. In the realm of flaky large particle size shades, I find this to be on the easier side to work with. You know, I've described sometimes shards or spiky flakes. I would not consider this one of those. And I think this one is probably a bit slept on because Clionadh also released a lot of these coral orange type of shades during their stained glass expansion, and those I also think have been pretty hard to distinguish. There's like Empress, Court Jester, the next one I'm going to show you, Coronation, Monarch, Rain. They're all kind of similar, and I don't know that you need them all, but hopefully swatches of the ones I have can help to distinguish the differences between those. Next is Coronation. This is a vibrant multichrome described as an orange base with pink, peach, chartreuse shifts. This is similar to Court Jester, but I do see differences. Similar type of shade, but this one has a smaller particle size, sparkly finish, not flaky, more of a smooth sparkly finish. I would categorize this also in a coral family. family, but from straight on you do see a vibrant pink, and then it shifts into coral, orange, gold, maybe a little bit of green too. This one compared to Court Jester, I do have them swatched together later in this video, but it's a little bit deeper and richer, different texture, not quite as dimensional, but more vibrant. And I think for the same reason as Court Jester, this was maybe a bit slept on because it's one of those corally orange shades that they came out with all at the same time. If I had to pick just one, I would pick Court Jester, but if you don't like flaky, sparkly shades, I would go with Coronation. Next is Cinder. This is an electric multichrome described as a pink base with red, orange, yellow shifts. This one is really interesting. It almost reminds me in a sense of Statue Garden, not in the color, but in the sense that when it's not facing a light source, it looks semi-sheer. If you have Statue Garden, you hopefully know what I mean, but this one has a very smooth, almost velvet-like texture. Not the most shiny, but it's very, very vibrant. And from straight on, I see a hot pink, and then it shifts to orange and gold. I think this one was probably overlooked because it's really not that shifty, and I think the appeal of it is the unique texture and finish. I do have a really similar shade from Shine by SD, and it's actually one I really enjoy from Shine by SD. I'll show you in the comparisons later. But this one has a really nice smooth texture, small particle size, very finely milled. I forgot to mention, Cinder did stain pink on me, and they do say on the website it's an artist pigment. It's made with cosmetic safe ingredients approved for eye use in Europe, not Canada or US. So I don't personally care about staining, but I know some of you do, so I always try to mention it when it's something that I notice. Okay, next is Flashed Glass. This is another electric multichrome described as a berry base with indigo, magenta, peach shifts. I think it was Celesta on Instagram. I'll link her below. I don't know if she watches my videos, but she mentioned in a post a while back that this reminded her a lot of the shade Fata Morgana from my collab with Shine by SD, and I definitely see that. I feel like maybe there is a similar or the same multichrome pigment used in this mix to create this shade. This one has a smaller particle size but a sparkly finish. It has that berry base, and from straight on you see an indigo shift, and then it goes into purple, pink, orange, gold. I love this type of multichrome shift, and when I put this on my eyes, it looked electric. Like, I definitely understand why this was one of the electric multichromes, even more vibrant than when I swatched it. I loved how it looked on the eye. This is similar to Fata Morgana in a sense, and you'll see in the comparisons later on, they do have similar vibes. This is a lot more opaque, and Fata Morgana is more of like a sheer iridescent-esque type of shade, and this has a smaller particle size and a bit more finely milled. I think this one was overlooked because you really don't get a sense of how vibrant and electric, almost radioactive it is until you see it in person and apply it. I think that's the biggest appeal of it, and it doesn't translate well in footage or photographs. Okay, second to last stained glass collection shade that I picked up is Quest, another electric multichrome. This one is described as an indigo base with pink, peach, chartreuse shifts. This one, number one standout. If you're gonna pick up anything from this video, get Quest. I'm so glad I picked it up. Okay, so it has like a sheer muted indigo base, and then from straight on it's this spicy pink to orange to gold to green. This reminds me so much of Statue Garden. The shifts are a bit different. I do compare them later on. Shinier and more opaque, and I completely overlooked this one at first. It does not translate well on the swatch photos on the website. Like, it is so much more special in person. So I did a look recently on Instagram, maybe not recently, it was a while back, but I did a look where I layered stencil from Clionadh over a mural, or vice versa. I forget which order I did it, and I really loved how that look came out. This literally looks like how stencil and mural looked combined. So if you like that look and you want to recreate it, Quest will do the same thing, and I do compare later on those two shades layered together next. So it has a small particle size, very reflective and shiny. 100% recommend. I love this one. I think the reason why Quest was overlooked is because you really don't see how special it is on the swatch photos on the website, and it's just a shade that I think is really hard to capture in photo and video because I struggled too. I had to really get the lighting right to get it to show on camera how vibrant it is in person. So I think that's why it didn't perform as well in terms of sales, but I think if people realized what it looked like in person, it would be one of the top selling shades. Okay, last stained glass collection shade is King's Feast, a hybrid multichrome. This is described as a warm brown base with violet, red, orange shifts. This one is I think, an exact dupe to a shade from Devinah called Starfire, which I decluttered, otherwise I would have compared them for you. But it's a pigment I've seen before, like a type of shift I've seen before. Medium small particle size, smooth but kind of sparkly finish, and a semi-sheer kind of terracotta base. This one I wouldn't necessarily recommend. I mean, it's pretty, but it's just not doing much for me. It's not one I'm like excited about. I'll use it. I do think it's a pretty color, but it's personally not my favorite. Probably around the bottom out of these 8 shades. I think this one probably is one of the lower selling shades because it's also not that exciting in swatches. I don't know. It just isn't doing much in swatches or in person. So not my favorite, but not everything has to be everyone's favorite. Okay, and I'm going to briefly talk about the 2 circle shadows I picked up for anyone who's curious. Okay, so first I picked up Sunlit Meadows, which is described as a glistening wheat gold metallic, like our other foiled shade Sunlit Meadow, as a beautiful high shine finish. This one I was really impressed with how sparkly this is. It's like a muted, I guess wheat is a good way to describe it, gold, and it has like a glistening sparkly finish, very dimensional. I think ones that are described as their foiled shadows are this sparkly finish. I'll probably pick up more when they release more in 2024. Okay, and then the last one is Chocolate Orange, described as a copper metallic. Honestly, if this was named anything else, I would have skipped it. Something about the name Chocolate Orange made me want it so bad. It's like a warm, rusty brown, somewhere between a metallic and a satin finish. It's not ultra reflective like eyeshadows that are commonly referred to as metallic, but it's not fully satin. I actually really like the finish of it. This is the type of shade I like to use in place of a matte, and I like to layer sparkly eyeshadows over it because I feel like they're even more reflective and sparkly when they're layered over a shade like this compared to a like flat matte eyeshadow. So I would be interested in trying more of the metallic shades, metallic circle shadows from Clionadh if they're going to have this similar finish. Let me know if any of these stood out to you. Do you plan to pick up anything during the holiday sale? Do you already own any of these? Let's talk about it in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And other than that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.